morning, everybody, and a happy Monday morning to you. Now, yes, I covered Halloween with Harry and Meghan. Yes, I'm covering the royal family news. Yes, I'm covering the difference between Meghan's products and Highgrove because she ripped off a lot of their stuff. Yes, we are talking about Andrew. There's so much in here, really. And I know that you guys are getting sick of hearing about Andrew, and I am too, but unfortunately, it's part of the news and I have to report on it. So if you're sick of Andrew, just skip past that part, but there's so much in here you won't believe. Let's just jump in and get started, shall we? Let's go. We are going to start with Prince William this morning. He's looking into installing a eco gadget in his home made by the UK's only Earthshot Prize finalist for 2025. It is a washing machine filter that catches microplastics before they enter the waterway. That's pretty cool. Now, sticking with Prince William and going back again to The Reluctant Traveler with Eugene Levy on Apple TV, one of the things that William said was that if you want a history on history, I'm not the guy. George, his son, way better at history. He says, I have to check in with him now on my dates. Let's talk now really quickly. We have James Middleton, Sir David Beckham. We know they own their own bees, they harvest their own honey. They don't have people to, manage their hives. They actually do it themselves, right? What I found interesting was this jar of honey you're about to see. David started producing during lockdown. I think Meghan took the design from David. Let's move on now to Princess Anne, the Princess Royal. She was at the Scottish Gas Murrayfield Stadium at Edinburgh because, as patron of the Scottish Rugby Union, she visited the Scottish rugby team because they took part in a team-run training session and she was there to watch it. I think she looks lovely. I think she's doing the soldier on, carry on bit as she should. I'm very disappointed in the newspapers because all they talked about was she was there, but she's concerned about Andrew. And then the entire article was about Andrew. And I had to get the information about Anne off the royal family website. How horrible is that? I mean, people, we're turning the focus back to the real working royals. And sticking with Princess Anne, a day or two ago, as the honorary fellow of the Royal College of Physicians of Edinburgh, she opened the new Dr. Joyce Granger Learning Center, looking fabulous. Now let's turn our attention to Andrew. They're saying he is not going to leave the Royal Lodge immediately and will move to Sandringham after the new year. And the reason that's happening is because the entire royal family gets together at Sandringham for Christmas and they don't want any awkward run-ins. So what they're saying is the move will take place, quote, as soon as possible and as soon as practical. The question is, which house is he going to? Let's take a look. Remember, these are all a step down from where Andrew was living. First up, we have the Gardens house at Sandringham. I don't know that they would put Andrew here because this house is available for rent on the Sandringham estate. It used to belong to the estate's head gardener. It sleeps up to 8 people. It's beautifully furnished. It's in the middle of the Sandringham estate, so there's plenty of privacy. You can walk around. Pets are allowed. So I would think that this might be a good option for Andrew. Do I think Andrew would like it here? No, because believe it or not, again, this is considered a step down from where he was living. Could you imagine? This is a step down, but this is one of the options, but then they would have to stop renting it out. So if this doesn't disappear from the rental, place where you can borrow this house, then I would say that this is not where he's going to go, but it is an option. Let's move to option number 2. Now, this is interesting. Next up, we have the York Cottage. And on the Wikipedia page, it says that the current tenant is Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. That's interesting. Now, the only pictures we have are the ones taken in the 1800s. It's supposed to be the estate office for Sandringham, holiday accommodations, and flats for state employees in part of the building. So, yeah, but that's what it says on Wikipedia. Another property on the Sandringham estate that is also up for rent, so I don't know that this one is going to be, the one, is the Folly. It's a weathered structure built in the 1800s. It's been everything from a hunting lodge to a sanctuary where ladies used to go to enjoy their afternoon tea. It has been restored and is available as a private retreat through the travel agency. It recently went through a year-long methodical restoration, and it sleeps up to 6 people. Interestingly enough, the website also says that objects from the royal collection have been put there to help enhance the authenticity of the space. Next up, you have Wood Farm. This is a 5-bedroom cottage located in a very secluded part of the Sandringham estate, but it overlooks the sea. They say it's a comfortable open-beamed cottage 2 miles from what they're calling the big house. This is where Philip went to retire. So I guess this could be an option. Last but not least, you have the Park House, which sits on the Sandringham estate. Diana lived there. She was born there, and she lived there until she was 14 years old, until the 1975. And then the Spencers moved into the Althorpe House, and the house became a hotel, and it was doing just fine until the pandemic hit. And then, of course, it shut down, and now it's sitting, and it's become dilapidated. I don't think they're going to put the money in to fix this one up for Andrew. Personally, I think they're going to stick him in York House. Now let's turn our attention to Sarah for just a second. They're saying that Sarah is going to go forward independently, and she will not be relocating to Sandringham along with Prince Andrew. All of her friends are simply saying, quote, she's going to be moving out and into a separate home, but they won't say where she's going or who she's going with or who's paying for this home. Personally, I think it's the daughters. But a few more statements are coming out saying that she's not going to live with Andrew. And it sounds to me from some of the statements that are coming out that she plans on blaming Andrew for everything, that she will not take responsibility for the fact that she kept in touch. They're saying that her loyalty to Andrew is what's caused all of these problems. So no accountability from her. I mean, articles are coming out saying Charles is going to regret that because after all, Fergie has not signed an NDA. She could write a book. She used to be friends with Diana. This could get ugly. Now, at the same time, it's being reported that Andrew will have no one else to turn to but his daughters. Unfortunately, his daughters are going to have to distance themselves from Andrew. Their relationship is absolutely going to change. They're going to want to keep as much distance because it will be devastating for them. Now, they're retaining their royal titles, right now. I think we've already discussed the fact that more than likely William's going to take them when he becomes king. But at the same time, I think the girls knew what was happening because they left the UK while it was going on. We already know that Eugenie went off on a girls' trip to Paris. And Beatrice, oh my goodness, went to an event in Saudi Arabia. Here her father is getting into trouble with his shady contacts, and this is where she decides to go. I don't think that was the smartest move. I think, if anything, it's reinforcing what people have been told about them getting their connections from their father. So, of course, people are going, well, what's his life going to look like now? Let me tell you what it's going to look like. It's going to be very lonely. He's going to be sitting on the Sandringham estate away from prying eyes. The only time he'll see anybody is when they show up to see him. Now, as far as the stripping of the titles, it is being reported that William was consulted on the move and was apparently in full support of his father's decision to strip Andrew of these titles. Of course, it's already come out that William is not inviting Andrew to his coronation, whenever that may be, and he will also exclude Andrew and Sarah not just from public royal affairs, but private gatherings, like Christmas at Sandringham. These guys are absolutely being exiled. Now, of course, the cousins, Beatrice and Eugenie, will still be welcome, but not the parents. I mean, that's the end of it. It's over. William's had enough. I think we all have, to be fair. The attention should be on the working royals. Now, a big thank you to HRH Marcia for this. In the meantime, more information is being drip-fed out to the public as we knew that it would be. More emails are coming out, more information. This is going to continue on for an extended period of time. I'm sure people must realize that. I mean, Andrew Lowney is still coming out claiming that Andrew had 40 prostitutes brought to his hotel when he was in Thailand on a taxpayer-funded trip in 48 hours. I'm sorry, that's one of those things that unless you have some definitive proof, I wouldn't believe. 40 women in 48 hours? I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't believe that. I think Andrew Lowney is riding a high, and I think his claims are getting bigger and badder, and he should be careful because, I mean, my goodness, he could end up himself in a lawsuit for some of the stuff that he's written. Now, in the meantime, BBC was doing an Andrew News report, and suddenly, boop, it got pulled. I don't know what that was about, and I'm certainly not going into that one. So let's keep going. Now, something interesting. Virginia Giuffre's family is all over the news talking about, this should happen to Andrew. He's now lost his prince title. He's lost his home. They still want more taken from him. But the book, by the way, also says, according to Virginia Giuffre, that her own father and his friends abused her, and I haven't heard the family say one word about that. Now, with all of this going on, people are now calling for Charles to remove the titles from Harry and Meghan, going, if they can do this to Andrew, why are they not doing it to Harry and Meghan? It's being reported it is essential, and I'm quoting, it is essential Harry and Meghan be stripped of their royal titles given their appalling behavior and actions, which have repeatedly disrespected, damaged, and abused the monarchy. And if the monarchy is going to survive, it is an absolute must to move forward with integrity and public respect. And the public remains outraged that this action has not yet taken place. The royal family, they're saying, should be slimmed down just like the Danish queen did before she stepped down, meaning only the family in line to the throne has their titles. So no Harry, no Meghan, no children, and so on. So with all of this going on, it's being reported that Harry is really concerned about his dukedom and his prince title now that Andrew has been stripped, and he realizes that it can be done to him. There was a report that William urged Charles to give the same fate to Harry and Meghan, that letting them keep their titles while making money from projects that criticize the royals undermines what his father is trying to rebuild. And a big thank you to Susie for this. Now, if you can believe the nerve of this guy, articles are coming out saying that Harry totally backs the king's decision to strip Andrew of all of his titles. He's made a point of keeping close contact with the king since their meeting in London in September, and he remains close to Beatrice and Eugenie, it's being reported. Well, you guys know what they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Just when this whole thing came out about Andrew, Meghan posted a picture of herself broadly smiling, arranging some flowers on her Instagram, and almost immediately it was deleted. Now, according to sources, it was deleted to avoid seeming to be insensitive to what was going on. But I think we know with Meghan, nothing happens unintentionally. I mean, that was put out there for a reason. I don't know what she was doing. I mean, come on, give me a break. And next up, a poem written by Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, but not for long. I anchor into my own knowing, trusting that growth takes time and the journey is guided by the power of yet. Wrapped in a healing blanket of patience and grace, I remind myself to save a seat at the table for every version of who I am becoming. The learns are created with an open heart and steady faith and never silenced. Next up, Archwell put out a statement about Jamaica, which I found funny because it was last year that Hurricane Helene came through. Remember, I myself was without power for 11 days. It was a devastation unknown. It was catastrophic, and they didn't say a word, or help in any way, I might add. All right, we're going to look now at Meghan's products compared to Highgrove. It looks like there's some really uncanny similarities. She seems to have ripped off a lot of stuff. Let's start with her honey. It's 9 ounces with honeycomb, whereas Highgrove is 8.8 ounces, and it comes directly from Highgrove. It's organic. And let's not forget, all the money goes to charity. Meghan's money goes to her pocket. Next up, you have the champagne. They come in the same size bottle, but Meghan's is $89 and Highgrove's is $55. Then we have the candles. Pictured Meghan's is $64. The King's candle is $33, half the price. Then you have the mulled wine. The Highgrove price is $9 US. Meghan's price, $16. Then you have the marmalade. Her product is only 7.6 ounces for $12. King Charles's is 12 ounces for $10.50. Then, of course, you have the wine. Meghan's wine is $35. Highgrove's wine is $20. Guys, I could go on and on and on. You get the point. Highgrove is organic. You know exactly where the stuff is coming from. It's actually coming from the Highgrove Gardens, and all the money goes to charity, where all of Meghan's money goes right into her pocket. So I think we know where you should buy your products from. All right, next up, I thought, and I think a lot of people thought, when Harry met Magic Johnson at the baseball game the other night, it was the first time they met. But come to find out, Harry, since he's lost Sentibale, has to get his foot in the door somehow for AIDS. And so he's teamed up with Magic Johnson and a couple of other people to do a video of some sort. Harry is nothing. He knows nothing. He's not a scientist. He's just a pampered, overprivileged person, and I won't watch that simply because they put him in it. All right, moving on. Don't forget that Harry recently fired off a very frightening warning to parents about posting photos of their children online, which a lot of people now are calling him a hypocrite again, because his wife continues to post pictures of their kids online, even if it's behind their heads. Now, one other thing. Harry and Meghan took their kids trick-or-treating. I, for one, will not be posting a lot of the photos, and let me tell you why. At this particular polo match that you're looking at right now, there was a photographer by the name of Carl Lawson. He took the pictures at this polo match. He's the only one. He was there for backgrid. But I believe he was invited there by Harry and Meghan. And so anybody who posted the pictures from this polo match, he slammed with copyright strikes. Multiple copyright strikes went to multiple creators. There were other pictures of them taken out and about in a parking lot at one point. And if you used any of those pictures, again, you got hit with a copyright strike. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. You see where it says Carl Lawson Photography /backgrid? That's because he doesn't give up the rights to the pictures. He sells them, but he doesn't give up the rights. So if anybody uses his pictures, you get in big trouble. The only way you can use the pictures is if you alter them in some fashion, if you don't show the whole picture. So that's what I'm going to do. So yes, these pictures came out of her trick-or-treating with the kids, and the pictures were taken by Carl Lawson. First thing I noticed is, as you can just saw, Meghan's holding a cup in her hand, and Harry is lugging along a bottle of alcohol. I guess she's guzzling it down as they're going from house to house. So Meghan and Harry are walking around. I don't know what this is that Meghan's wearing. It's on her back. I think she's supposed to be a butterfly. I don't know why they brought Carl Lawson along for this. They look bored. They look irritated. I don't think Meghan wants to be there walking around with the kids, to be honest. That's just my personal opinion. Oh my goodness, I want your comments on all of this. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell after you leave your comments. Then go down into the description box where you'll find the link to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, a link to my second channel, a link to my father's book, which is still up for sale on Amazon, and a link to my Amazon wish list, as well as a physical address. For those of you who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.